Welcome to another Put the Power Down video, and in today's video we're going to do a quick drive of the 2018 Mustang GT. Now this is the premium package, and I already do have a review up and live on my channel about the 2018 Mustang, which is the performance pack. I have a black one of the black version of basically this car, same car, like I said, performance pack, so basically means it's more ready for the track. But this is going to be a different car. This one actually has a 10-speed automatic transmission, and this one has a digital gauge cluster. So those are basically the two options that particular Mustang GT that I had, the performance pack one, it was missing these two options. So I am excited to see, you know, exactly how these two features really, I guess, function and whatnot, and just see what really the hype is about. And just starting off right now, I'll tell you guys that the sound, everything about this car is the same, so I'm not really gonna go as in depth as I did in that last video. So like I said, just a quick drive of this particular Mustang, and right off the bat, just looking at the gauge cluster, it definitely does look cool. Just sitting here in first gear, and like I said, automatic 10 speed. So we're gonna go ahead and roll on to the gas, and I definitely do like how this vehicle shifts, and this thing really does get up to speed. I just looked down, I didn't really realize how fast I was going. I didn't feel like I was going that fast, but you can definitely surpass the speed limit, you know, without even really noticing, especially being in the automatic car. You know, you're not shifting, you're not really worrying about your RPM. This car is doing it for you, so you know you're not paying as much attention to you're not paying the same amount of attention to you know, as you would be in a manual car. You'd be paying more attention and whatnot. So this thing definitely did just get me up to speed really fast, and it shifted well. And you know, you would think it would be shifting all the time. I've already driven this with this transmission before. I have a 10-speed Raptor review up on my channel, 2017, and you know, like I said in that review, it's the same thing goes in this car. You would think that this car would be shifting all the time, and it's not. It shifts almost like a regular vehicle. You know, the higher gears, especially 8 and up, are really just overdrive gears and whatnot. And now I'm doing around 35, 38 miles an hour, and the car is in 7th gear. And I do like the fact that you can see what gear the car is in on the left, and you have your speedometer there on the right. And the digital gauge cluster really is cool. You can go through the different settings, and you know, the drag mode brings up a different one. It moves the RPMs up to another level. It's just really cool how basically it's almost like an active gauge cluster. You know, and when I say active, I mean like the gauge cluster is always moving. It's almost like you can customize it to where you want it to be. And I just really like how that, you know, it's not the same all the time. It's not the same boring gauge cluster. You know, it moves around. It keeps things exciting in a way. I definitely do like that factor. And like I said, I'm just driving now at around 45, and now I'm in 9th gear, and I just think that's really cool how this transmission does that. You know, you're just cruising along, and you can see what the gears are and whatnot. Also in this video, I'd like to discuss a few things that I may have missed, or you know, didn't really discuss in my original video about the 2018 Mustang. And a couple of those things are it's really small things that I kind of missed, and I'd like to point out that Ford did improve. The mirrors in these cars actually got smaller. They're not as bulkier, and you know, it's something to note. I know it's really small and whatnot, but it is something to note. Also, another thing with these cars, they have the rear diffusers back there that I do think really nice, especially on that black Mustang GT that I had last time. They had a really nice diffuser, and you know, that's honestly just two small things. Also, the heated seats, I think in my opinion, have improved. Probably the cooled seats as well. A lot of people discuss those, but I'm definitely feeling the heated seats right now. And actually right now, since we have an open stretch of road, we're gonna go ahead and get on the gas here for a second. And wow. It literally instantly, as soon as I put my foot down, the car, it took, you know, it's not the fastest transmission ever, but it definitely is. It's not zero. It's not a slouch at all. You know, pretty sure some supercars could probably beat this thing, but I mean, this same transmission is in the Z01, so that gives you an idea that this car is no slouch as far as with the transmission. And I literally put my foot down. It went down to 6 at first. I didn't know if I guess it was trying to figure out if I was gonna just, you know, accelerate a little bit, and then it was like, nope, you want to go fast, and it threw me down to 3rd, and it just took off, got me right past the speed limit in a matter of seconds. And you know, it's just, like I said already, I just think it's really cool how Ford has done this, along with GM, because they co-developed the transmission with each other. I'm gonna go ahead and actually put the car in sport mode here and see how the paddle shifters are. Woo! Definitely like I said, definitely a rocket. And you know, I actually ran into some traffic here, so I can't go that fast. But you know, just the paddle shift is definitely really fast. I mean, I'm clicking, like, if you guys can hear that, I'll just click and you guys let you hear the downshifts. It's instant. Like, if you can hear the exhaust and whatnot just getting ready to go for me, it's just incredible how these things just downshift like that. I mean, it's super on the fly, and I'm really just still blown away. Like I said in my last review, you know, it's just amazing how a Ford Mustang is doing this. You know, a lot of people, the Mustangs have come so far, all the muscle cars have come so far, but I think, you know, the Mustang in itself, because if you look at, you know, the 2004 Mustang or the 2008 Mustang 10 years later, comparing it to this, completely different car, which it should be. I like the fact that Ford is really advanced and whatnot. I'm gonna go ahead and downshift again, super fast, super quick, super easy. And like I said, now this one does not have the Magna Ride suspension like my last Mustang did, and it still handles fine. I mean, this thing is just a rocket and ready to go. It still feels nice. Now this suspension definitely is a little bit softer than the Magna Ride, I can tell you that. And honestly, these cars, you know, they have picked up a little bit of weight from the previous 15 through 17 Mustang, but they still do feel pretty nice in turns and whatnot. They are getting heavier. I think they're weighing in around 4,000 pounds, depending on, you know, what options you have on the car. And like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and let the car shift by itself here. It actually did not shift by itself. But like I said, just oh, that is, oh wow, still an incredible car. And another thing to note about this car is, again, I talked about it in my first review, but the exhaust is just incredible. Especially in the sport mode here. I'm just, you know, I hit the gas in second gear, and you can hear the exhaust in the background crackling in the sport mode and all that. It's just really cool with the active exhaust. And it brings another thing up to my mind. I'm gonna go ahead and put the gear back in drive mode so, you know, calms down. Another thing about these Mustangs, I honestly don't know how you could mod it aftermarket. I know you could put a tune on and supercharger, but honestly, with bolt-ons, you know, I'm sure there's still somewhere to go, but you don't really need to, and that's really something to say. You know, like I said, the 2010 Mustang GTs were coming with around 300 horsepower from the factory, and now these with 460. There's not really much that you need to do or add to these vehicles now. I mean, you could genuinely be fine with this stock. I mean, it feels that good. You know, automatic transmission with the power and everything, the shifting, it feels that good. You don't need a tune to make the shifts more precise like you did the 15 through 16 Mustangs or 15 through 17 Mustangs. I'm sorry about that. You know, these things definitely do shift a lot faster from the factory. Everything is just really improved from the factory, from the handling to the looks to the just the overall quality of these cars. And I'm gonna go ahead and do one last roll on. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video for you guys. Oh, there. Woo! These cars are definitely something to look at. I promise you, if you've never looked at Mustangs, especially you know, 2015 and up, if you have the opportunity to drive one, definitely go ahead. Also, head over to Capital Ford here in Charlotte, North Carolina. They provided this vehicle for me. Really great guys. Obviously, you know, they're out here, you know, giving people the opportunity to afford cars like these with great deals and whatnot. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this quick drive video. Like I said, absolutely an amazing car. I still love the Mustangs, everything about them. You know, they definitely won't disappoint you. The price has gone up, like I said in my last video, but it's worth it. Everything, the quality has gone up, every single thing about this car. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, and I'm gonna play some music right about now.